All right, so here is the item for sale, Crown Victoria from Ford. An iconic line of cars. This was also the Lincoln Town Car. This was the common police interceptor car, and Crown Victorias were famously tax cabs. They were fleet cars. They were designed to drive a lot and to be driven hard and to be driven by people that were not their owners, which I think means you have to be even a little tougher in all those regards, and they all stack up. This is one from this is a 1995, and it's got a 4.6 liter engine, an 8-cylinder engine. As you see in this particular car, the inside is just immaculate. Look at that. It looks like no kids have been in there. It looks like it hasn't been traveled in, and it was actually a grandmother's car. This was a car that basically is almost like a one owner. I think it changed hands twice. I know at least once. It's my brother's right now, and it did change hands. He thought he was going to like this car. It's a little too big for him. It wasn't his style. But as you see there's all the details. There's a lot of good stuff in there. Safety stuff that you hadn't seen until right about this time, like passenger airbags and things like that. And this was sold at the famous Drew Ford of San Diego. Look at that, 17 and 25. You get 17 around the city, 25 on the road. That's how all the cars are rated. Obviously, they're with one driver. And they're obviously also with no air conditioning on. But still, they all do that. And you see a 17 and a 25. That's pretty good. So there we are with the film. Nice looking car. It's not perfect. It's from 1995. You see a little bit of markings down there in the front. Those are cosmetic conditions. As far as I'm concerned, looking at this car inside and out and having driven it a little bit and being in it and so on, it really feels like a very close to being new car. And this was, this is now a 6-year-old car. 26-year-old, excuse me. 26-year-old car. But looking so good, looking so nice. You got the honeycomb wheels that were very popular then. The BMW style that went along with this. A little bit more stylish version. Again, this is basically a Lincoln Town Car. Or a Crown Victoria. Or a Mercury Grand Marquis. Famously, the police used this car because it was so great. I think they did a few extra things on the suspension. I think they might have used the 5.3 liter engine, but it was the basic car because it's such a great per-functional car. You see that trunk there. You could put a lot of luggage in there, golf clubs. And so this car, like all the cars I mentioned, is built on a full frame. It's basically also in the same family with the Ford F-150, also a fleet vehicle, the Expedition, and even the Econoline. Obviously, those things have a little bit different incarnation or method of using the engine and components together, but they're part of the same family. They're all based on a full frame system, which actually means that you're actually riding on a metal frame, as opposed to most of the cars today. Even SUVs are a unibody frame, and they're kind of hooked together and clawed together. It's cheaper to make them that way. Some say it even provides a little better ride because there's a little more give and take, but it's not safer. The full frame is safety plus. It's like you're riding in an F-150 that's been lowered when you drive this car. That's what we're talking about. And again, some very nice video shots here of how beautiful the interior of this car is. It's really like getting into a brand new car. Here we go on the road. That's what's important. So we're going to go out on the road a little bit. And I'm going to cut away from some of this because partially I was putting on my seatbelt. I always do that when I get out a little bit. I'll start grabbing for my seatbelt. And then I was riding downhill, which is not impressive. But I did get a chance to put on the headlights. So we'll get on the 8 for a little bit. You can hear that nice click, solid click of the steering or the signal. It's just a nice, smooth driving car. You just forgot how it feels to drive a car like this. If you ever got the chance to. If you haven't, then, you're going to be in for an experience. And it's just solid and smooth and without even tapping the accelerator, you feel like you're suddenly just surging with power and you don't even feel it in the engine. You really have to take it up a hill aggressively to start feeling the engine. And this one's been well maintained for, again, I said basically it's like a one owner up until the last half a year or something. I think my brother bought this off of the daughter of the woman that originally owned it or something along those lines. So I did a little bit there on the 8, and then I'm gonna get off here and turn around on Grossmont. There's that nice click. The camera I need to get another phone to get those rich blacks that people now get. Seeing the iPhone, it's pretty amazing. Just gotta bite the bullet, I guess. So we're gonna get back on the 8 now. Yeah, there's a little bit of an incline there. And it just, again, soars up it so nicely. We're still going up an incline to get on the 8 from La Mesa. There's a little hump here. And then we go back down. But it's just all around smooth, like the cars you might remember if you were around for those times. Like I started driving in the 80s, and I just remember all those big old Mercuries and stuff that you got to bounce around in, the Cordova. And this feels like that. Actually, my car I had was a 1970 Chevy Nova. And that wasn't necessarily plush, but it was powerful like this one. And This one is plush, pretty quiet, just real comfort. Real comfort. It's from the age of when driving was, and everything was also about comfort, not just looks. Look at that, how smooth that is. You're just cruising along. It's almost like you're in a living room capsule. Smoother than an electric train. There's the El Cajon Valley there on the right. Okay. Taking it down to Main Street. And we're gonna go left here, obviously. And there's a little bit even more of an incline. I was considering going over to Fletcher, because I'll tell you what, I've gone up Fletcher in this car. And it's the same story. It just plows up the hill. If you want to test drive it, obviously Fletcher's an option. It's a good one for the East County area. There you see the mileage. You hear, I mean, what kind of noise do you hear? Almost nothing. I was looking at the road the whole time, just to let you know. I was only pointing my camera and guessing, and I guessed right. Going a little fast up that hill, but I made sure that there was nobody around. I hope I don't get in trouble for this. But I was definitely looking at people and being very cognizant of everything that was going on. I just happened to point my camera down because I wanted you to see that that's basically a highway speed going up a significant incline, and you're not feeling anything. This is a good old-fashioned rear-wheel driven car. It's got a nice, strong engine, yet it still gets 17 and 25. And it's got a beautiful interior. The finish is very nice. It's not perfect, as you saw in the video back there, a few things. But all in all, just solid. And 56,000 and change miles. Where are you ever going to find that? In a car this old, that also brings with it the quality of yesteryear, the heavy, strong cars of, I would say, the 70s and 80s. It's very reminiscent of that, probably the mid to late 70s through just about this period. I think they discontinued this body style, or this overall body style, in the early 2000s. No, actually, I think they went till 2011. So this was like a really long body running car platform. That's why there's so many of them. Solid car.